Hello everyone and welcome to another PS Does Book Reviews. This time it's number 4. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the books that I read during December 2016. First, get straight into it. First, I have some books that I actually read before, but I forgot on the previous video, and it's the Claymore issues. Claymore is a manga series, and it just finished. Number 27 just came out a few months ago. And it's really good. I've been waiting for the finale for a long time, so I read both of the final ones to remind a bit of the story before this one came out, because they take a long time to come out. And this was quite good. The story is about these little girls or little women with the very big swords who fight monsters, and they mutate, and there's a lot of fun stuff. The drawings are pretty manga style. It's out on Shonen Jump, which for those people who don't know is one of the biggest publications in monthly publications, or weekly even, I'm not quite sure. I think it's monthly, but I don't know. That come out in Japan with just action-packed manga for teenagers. They have several different categories, and Shonen Jump is known for having more action-oriented stuff. So I watched these two. I give them both 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. They're both very good. I highly recommend the whole series. The anime is also okay-ish. It doesn't go the whole story like the books do, the manga. So the manga is better. So yeah, it's pretty good. I recommend it. Next, we have more the comics stuff. This time is more Western. Is Deadly Class from Remender, Craig, and Loughridge. It's a story about some kids. This is volume number 2. I also got number 3 and number 4 over here. I already read number 1 before. Number 1 was very good, so I ordered the other ones. The story is about kids who are in a school for assassins. There are misfits. They have a lot of different subgroups inside the scholarship. Some people, like, they have the Latinos, they have and the black people, they have the Russians, all different kinds of nationalities and backgrounds, the punks, straight edge kids, lots of different things. And yeah, they get involved into some weird stuff involving killings and backgrounds of different characters. It's a very interesting comic. These books were maybe not as good as the first ones, though the last one really had a very huge, the fourth one really had a very huge twist to the plot. I believe it was on the fourth. No, I'm not sure anymore. They really advanced it a lot. You would think that they would do a little bit more there, and then they just made a huge jump in the storyline, which is interesting, I guess. But well, I'm very curious to see what happens next. Anyways, this was a great series, highly recommended. Great drawings. I'm going to show you a little bit of them. They're all in color, full color. Great stuff. Great drawings, great plot, storyline, great characters. Great comics. Highly recommended. Deadly Class, I gave number 2 a 5 out of 5 stars, and I gave the 3 and 4 a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. So highly recommended. Next, we have another comic. This is called Username Evie by a guy called Jo Sugg. Apparently he's a YouTuber, and this is his first comic. And it shows, because it sucks. I gave a chance on it based on reviews from other people and ratings on Goodreads. If you check the ratings on Goodreads, it has, like, let me check real quick, 3.97 and 472. 427, I'm sorry. He has 397 and 427, both volumes. So I figured, okay, must be good. He got nominated for a prize for new authors and stuff. So must be good. The drawings are also in the Western style. They're color. They're pretty well drawn. So that seemed promising, except that it fucking sucks. Both of them are terrible. The plot is borderline cringing. You can tell that the guy doesn't know what the hell he's writing about. There's no empathy between the characters. Like from in the beginning, the characters meet and they don't like each other, and then a few moments later, it's like nothing happened, or they hate the whole world and they want the whole world to burn, and then suddenly they have a redemption for the rest of the life and they don't even discuss about it. There are lots of things like that. Or she's in search of her mother her whole life, and then she finally finds her mother and her mother doesn't care, and she just doesn't even reply to that. So characters are totally unbelievable, badly researched to say the least. It's bad. The guy wanted to make a comic. It was like his lifelong dream, apparently. There are some internal jokes which also are pretty stupid. He made a comic. It takes work. Props for that, but no, this book is a scam. It's a scam by all the fans of this guy, of Joe Sugg. He has a YouTube channel. He has 3 million subscribers, something like that, and they're all excited that he's being creative, and they all uprated the ratings of this. And I only wish I had read more reviews on Goodreads, because people talk exactly about this. That it really shows that this is the first comic of this person. It would not be published in any other publishing, especially not in hardcover, especially not in color, if it was anyone else. But, publishers are after money, and YouTubers, they bring money in. So, it's a capitalist world, and then you end up with these things introducing people to the world of graphic novels, which is a shame, but, well, it is what it is. Anyways, I got both volumes because I figured, hey, if it's good, both volumes are out, I'm going to buy both. I bought both. They both suck. There's not much more to say. I wish I didn't buy them. Next, I picked up this book by Neil Gaiman called The American Gods. It's quite a thick book, as you can see. It took me a long time to read it. It's very, very good. This is the author's preferred text, so he has extra text from the original edition that was cut or edited out due to the editor requesting some changes here and there. And this one apparently has more content. It's very interesting. The storyline is well put. It has lots of different things in between. It talks about gods and mythology. It also talks about America. It's a road trip, it's a mystery, it's a lot of things at the same time. There are paragraphs which you could totally just rip out from the book and publish on your own. Not paragraphs, I mean chapters. Which is like the story of how the gods came from Europe or Asia into America. They go back in time and they just tell that story. It's not even directly connected to some of the gods that they are telling the story from are not even showing in the book. They have already perished meanwhile, or disappeared, or went unworshipped. But they're still told the stories for us only, and it's very good. You get into it. The story, the characters are great. It involves magic. It involves It's an amazing book. I really loved it. I'm a big Neil Gaiman fan, as you can probably tell. And this is one more of his masterpieces. Apparently, I had already read Anansi Boys. And it actually took me a while to figure out the connection between them. And then I realized that one of the gods that shows up about like 1/3 is the parent of the characters from Anansi Boys. So it's not really a sequel. It's just the characters are somehow connected. But yeah, and apparently there are 2 more books. One is called Black Dog, and the other one, I don't remember the name right now, which are also related to this whole American Gods world, let's call it that. And I'm very curious to read them as well. So yeah, this one was very good. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. Highly recommend it. Next, I'm currently reading this one. I'm not done yet. I'm like 1/3. It's called Margaret. It's called The Handmaid's Tale, and it's by Margaret Atwood. And well, it's a bit hard to get into. You need to, for the first 1 or 2 chapters, you're not sure what the hell she's talking about. Then you start understanding that she's describing the world that she's currently living in, and then at the same time, in between, she's discussing the world what she used to live in, which is the memories of her past. And all the chapters float between both worlds very fast. It can be a bit tricky to get into it, but once you get into it, it's quite fluid and you can read it very well. It's especially interesting because it tells the perspective of how the culture changes specifically for women, where they are more in a free society and then they end up in a more restrictive society. It reminds us a lot of what happened. It reminds me a lot of Persepolis, which is a graphic novel about the situation in Iran, I believe, or in a Middle Eastern country which used to be more free, and then with the Islamic front getting some more notoriety, it kind of reverted on the freedoms for women, and they became forced to wear the burqa and not be able to speak to other men and stuff like that. So in that aspect, it's very interesting. It also involves religion, but in another way. It doesn't really directly point the finger at Islam itself, but you can see the parallel between them. And yeah, it was written actually in 82 or 86, or released around that, so it's quite old. I'm trying to look for the date that it was released. 87. So it's quite old by now, but it still portrays what could easily happen in a society if we let regimes take over and change our culture and take away our liberties, which is a very up-to-date theme. So it's a very interesting read. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm going to keep reading it. It can be a bit too raw sometimes, so it's not for all the audiences, but it's a very interesting read. I recommend it. I haven't rated it yet because I haven't finished reading it, but I'll probably give it a 4, standing into a 4 right now. Okay, and I think that's it for the books of December. Next on my TBR, I have planned to read one of these two. Either Jo Nesbo Nemesis, which I've been trying to get into. Jo Nesbo, I've been hearing lots of good things about Jo Nesbo. They say that this is a good book to start with, so I'll probably start with this one. It's quite thick, as you can see, so I'm a bit scared that it might take a lot, but if the writing is fluid, shouldn't be that much of a problem. Yeah, if I manage to get rid of that Neil Gaiman, which was horribly thick, I think I can manage this one. So maybe this one, I don't know, or it might be this one. And this one is a follow-up to a story by Neil Gaiman called Interworld. I love that story. It's a very short book. I loved it a lot. And now I discovered that there is a sequel. 2 of them. This is the first one, and there's a second one. It's not written by Neil Gaiman. It's written by these 2 people down here, Michael Reaves and Mallory Reaves. I guess they're a couple. I don't know how much information from Neil Gaiman they have, or guidance they had from Neil Gaiman. I hope the style is the same, or it goes in the same way, so I'm very skeptical. I was not so skeptical before realizing that it was not written by Neil Gaiman, because Neil Gaiman writes very well. It's very hard to, be on par with Neil Gaiman, at least in my book. But well, let's give it a try. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, who knows. Okay, so update to the previous video. I was just taking a look at the original Interworld, and it also mentions Michael Reaves, which I thought it was only by Neil Gaiman, but no, it's actually a collaboration between both people. So I guess this is actually an official sequel by mostly Michael Reaves, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it promises to be a lot better than I was originally suspecting, noticing that it's not by Neil Gaiman directly. So yeah, looking forward to see it. If it's good, I'll buy the third one. If it sucks, then it sucks, and that's it, and I'll be disappointed. But the world itself of Interworld is very interesting, and you can really do a lot of things, so I can understand why other people would pick it up, since Neil Gaiman apparently somehow abandoned it. I also heard there was a TV adaptation in the works for Interworld, which might pop up in 2017. So I'm staying tuned for that. Very curious to see if it pops up or now. I know it would be a very cool series if it was adapted. Also, a movie could also work, but the series would work better. So I'm very interested in seeing how that works out. Well, I'm gonna give this a read and see how it goes. And yeah, that's it. That's it for December 2016. I have other books lying around, but I'm not gonna commit to reading them. I like to read just one at a time, so I'll pick up one of these two and see how it goes from there. If you guys have any questions or any comments, I would gladly like to answer them. Have you read any of these books? Do you agree with them? Do you think that do you actually know this one? Is it any good compared to Winterworld itself? If you do, please let me know before it's too late, before I actually read it and lose my mind. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye. Take care. Oh, and don't forget to check the other videos that I have on this PS Does Reviews things, which should pop up somewhere here, I guess. Okay. Bye bye.